Hey everyone, this is Siddhant, and today we are talking about China. From 1980 to 2016, China adopted its infamous one child policy. The reason was simple: they wanted to control the population growth and boost economic development in the country. The implementation of the policy got quite intense at times as well. The rules were so strict that women were forced to abort their second children if they got pregnant. Those who didn't follow the rules were even made to pay hefty fines. As a result, the population was controlled and China rose to become the second largest economy in the world. But of course, when you interfere in such matters, there are bound to be consequences. The biggest reason behind China's dramatic growth was their massive pool of ambitious workers who worked in factories and made the country an industrial powerhouse. Companies across the world came to manufacture their goods in China because of this cheap labor force. But now, this labor force is aging, and since people haven't been able to have more than one kid, all of a sudden, there aren't enough workers to replace the new ones who are now retiring. China had to do something about it, and in 2016, they finally allowed couples to have two children. With this newfound freedom, you'd think there would be a baby boom, but guess what? That never happened. Last year, only 12 million babies were born in China, the lowest number of births since 1961. So, China did the next best thing and allowed couples to now have three children. But will this new three child policy actually help boost its population? We try to figure it out in today's episode of Let's Do Shorts. Ask any millennial in China today if they plan on having a baby anytime soon, there's a good chance the answer will be a resounding no. For a nation that is long dependent on its growing workforce, a decline in population is a major threat to economic growth. There's a growing number of senior citizens, while young people are deciding to have fewer or no children. To address the situation, China recently announced that it would allow people to have up to three children. But the reaction to this has been rather meh. Millennials could not be bothered to have any kids at this point. They just don't have the time or the financial resources for it. Life for Chinese millennials genuinely isn't easy. Most of them today are stuck in the brutal 996 work culture. What's 996, you ask? Working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. There's barely any time to relax or socialize, let alone having a baby and raising it. Young women in the Chinese workforce are in fact delaying having children because women with kids are unfortunately discriminated against in the workplace. The current generation of working millennials are all products of the one child policy. Having grown up without any siblings and being the only child, the idea of having a large family just doesn't seem appealing to them. Having just the one child is pretty much the norm for them. With an ever increasing cost of living, realizing their own dreams along with financially supporting their retiring parents and in some cases grandparents, and then also having two babies, maybe three, and then raising them, it's just too much pressure. Many young couples there are finding real value in simply not having children. Even those who do envision having a family in the future say that they'd rather have one child and give a single child more advantages than spread their income among multiple kids. There's truly no end to the underlying issues. Back in the day, China had a cultural preference for male babies. And add to that the fact that they could have only one child, it resulted in a significant number of female babies not being born. This is one of the gravest consequences of forced family planning rules in China. As a result, the country's sex ratio got skewed, and the number of women of childbearing age also went down significantly. So, what should the government be doing? Just leave their people alone. Experts in the field have suggested that rather than optimizing its birth policy, the government should instead respect people's life choices and remove any restrictive laws, including the fine couples pay for having children beyond the set limit. I mean, the two child version of the policy clearly didn't work. Just remove the restrictions and move on with it. Instead, they should be spending time in improving the lives of people. They should figure out how they can make it easier for couples to have more children. They should improve the maternity leave policies at the workplace, invest in childcare, and basically take progressive steps towards solving the issue instead of imposing restrictions. They should definitely get rid of their brutal 996 work culture and encourage companies to create better work life balance for their employees. When it was younger, the population of China was one of their greatest strengths. As the population got older, it is now putting a huge amount of pressure on the country's hospitals and their underfunded pension system. While there is no magic formula that will boost birth rates, people will definitely think about having children if they felt truly taken care of.